Hello, hello. We are on day three, baby. Day three of the 5-day challenge. How you master your practice in 90 days. Like I said yesterday, when I figured the stuff out that we're talking about you now to you this week, I added 70 people a day, not a week, a day in 90 days, and 110 people in 5 months. And that was with zero marketing, not one penny on marketing, not 1 second outside of office hours. So if I can do it, you can do it. The only thing that drove me to it was one thing, purpose. So what I want to show you today is how I had every patient agree the chiropractic is healthcare lifestyle right on day one. And then when you get that, man, family members are automatic, and that was from a question that I asked myself, how do I get patients, parents, to ask me to bring their kids in? Because I spent way too much time convincing with not near the success that I wanted. So that's what we're going to go through today. So how do you do it? You got to want to break generational patterns right from the first impression. You want to make those kind of changes, man, you got to have a bigger purpose. So what are the 3 levels of purpose? Well, we went through this yesterday. We want to create a legacy of the last generations. What's that mean? The generations, a kid born 25 years, 30 years from today will be under chiropractic care from birth. That's a legacy. That's beyond your life. And think, wow, that's huge. How are we going to do that? Well, the way you do it is break generational patterns. So we're going to talk about that. Now, if I break generational patterns, then I can create a legacy if they understand health is energy and the spine blocks that energy and causes disease. They got to get that one thing, and those health patterns and spinal patterns pass through generations. We're going to talk about that today. Now, here's the thing. So let's talk about breaking generational patterns for a minute. And this will kind of blow you away. When people come in and they solve their healthcare problems and you fix their spine, you're not breaking the generational pattern because they were already subluxated. You may have corrected a generational pattern. You didn't break it. When you look at their kids, if you're fixing their spine, you didn't break it with their kids. You begin to break it with the generation that's not born yet, that gets adjusted from birth, that never forms it. They never form the pattern. That's how you break it. Now, there may be some people out there, well, I break it because I fix their spine. Hey, whatever, then create a patient. You just ain't going to create a legacy. So this is all a belief system, man. What if you believe that the first generation that never forms the pattern is the beginning of breaking the pattern? And that is your purpose. A legacy is automatic. But what's going to drive me to break the pattern? Just because I want to break generational patterns? No, because we're bringing heaven and earth. We're creating a new healthcare system. And if we can do that with the generation born 25 years from today, and we can do that, and you look at the person you're talking to today, and that's the leader that you're creating with purpose, who will also break the generational pattern, you're bringing heaven and earth. You're changing the healthcare system. It may take a couple generations, but if we can do it enough and create leaders, hey, if Jesus did it with 12, what if you created 100? What if you created 200, 500, 5 years from today, 400? You're going to change the healthcare system. So I was walking through the gym about 2 months ago, and all of a sudden this loud voice in my head said, the healthcare system of the new world is energy healing. And I went, oh my God, that's it. That's it. That's our purpose right there. It's energy healing. Bang, health is energy. Shoot, man, I totally forgot. 25 years ago, this is what I used to tell people. Sometimes I forget stuff. So man, when that's your purpose, creating a new healthcare system that may take a couple generations or not, then I have to break generational patterns today. I got to change their belief system that this is a generational pattern, that health is energy. And when I do that, a legacy is automatic. So here you may think, God, a legacy of the last generation, that's so big, that's so hard. How am I going to do that? I just want to close a patient. Stop it. Stop thinking that way. Stop being so selfish. Sorry, gang. You want to close a patient? That's freaking selfish. That's easy, right? When you want to create a legacy of the last generations, you want to change the healthcare system, that purpose comes through. You're saying different things. When you want to close a patient, you're stuck in patient education. When you see every single individual that you add has purpose to bring that message to other people, it's one more shift in consciousness of humanity. Every person you talk to is one more person. You're shifting the consciousness of humanity. And they can feel it all the way in Pakistan. Look at this fine young lady, Ghazal Rashid. She's in Pakistan, reaching around the world, man. She's, how many chiropractors on her? She's not even a chiropractor. Thank you for being so committed. But she loves the Lord, and chiropractic is a message for humanity. Sorry. Help. So you got that on recording. There you go. Okay, let's go next one. What's purpose day one, day two? Hey, you guys. Establish beliefs that control their healthcare, life regeneration. That's the purpose. You're establishing a belief system. What controlled their healthcare for generations before them, and what will control their healthcare? You got to change those beliefs. You got to figure out what their beliefs are. Remember, there's 7 beliefs. 5 of those are limiting beliefs. We're changing those into health is energy running day one. Why? Because the spinal cords are literal lifeline. Like, they have to get that. If they don't get that, it's over. I was telling a story today. 3 weeks ago, I ran into this guy in the gym. He's in a wheelchair, and he broke his neck 20 years ago. And he's got pretty good use of his upper extremities, limited use of his legs. But he's in a wheelchair, and I went up to him in the gym. Why? Because he doesn't know what I know. I don't know who the guy is. I mean, yeah, I've seen him. I've never talked to him, but man, we have an obligation. So I went up to him and I said, man, what happened? He told me this. I go, yeah, I've been a chiropractor. I told him about CBP. And I said, if you're getting some energy in there, imagine if you can get 20% more energy. You're going to have a different life. And he said, give me the guy's number. Benefit motivated. Now, a guy in a wheelchair in a gym, he's benefit motivated. I'm not going to talk to him about consequences. What am I going to do? What if there's a possibility you can get 20% more energy? What's your life going to be like? He's like, give me his number. He didn't even say, well, it's going to be amazing. He just said, give me his number. So my friend, Tony, was out of town for 2 weeks. I'm like, look, he's out of town. Call him in 2 weeks. I bumped into him on Monday. And I said, call my friend. Well, wait, he told me to wait 2 weeks. I'm like, dude, we're going on the 4th week, man. Let's get it together. I'll call him this week. Here's the moral of the story. He said, will you look at my x-rays? I'm not a practicing chiropractor, right? But what did we do? I gave him hope. I gave him trust. We took care of the one major objection. Trust. Why? Conviction. It's like, look, man, you have to go. You say, this isn't an option. Like, you talk to him like, this is your life. You have to go. 25 years, it's long enough. You're trying to get strength in your body. Now you need energy in your body. Anything that's trapped in your spinal cord, we're letting it loose right now. Boom. So next time I see him, I'm going to make sure that he signs up. Spinal structure can block and cause stress to the spinal cord, reduce the energy, and progressively cause disease, including terminal disease. Now, here's the deal. Why do I have health is energy and spinal cord is your lifeline underlined? Why don't I have spinal structure underlined? Because that's not what we're focused on. Spinal structure is why they quit. Health is energy. Spinal cord is your lifeline is why it's lifestyle. That's what you focus on. Now I have to look, because health is energy and it moves through your spinal cord. We want to get that thing working like a fire hose. Hello, analogy, right brain. That's the first day. Now we're going to look at the spine, right? That's it. So if I'm watching the Olympics and we blow a fuse, what am I going to do? Go to the fuse box, right? I hit the fuse box. It's done. What am I doing? I'm enjoying the Olympics on the TV. What am I focused on? The fuse box? No, I'm not. So this is why they have to get Lifeline. Okay. And then after that, it's done. So let me ask you a question. After I hit the fuse, am I focused on the fuse box? What am I focused on? Energy, enjoying the Olympics, electricity. So you got to call it done. Health is energy. I'm focused on the spinal cord. Done. You don't have to think about anything else. Anything else that you focus on, you're diluting the message. It's that simple. And on a coaching call the other day, they said, God, it's so simple. It's hard. Well, it's only hard if you're allowing a bunch of other crap in there. That's why it's hard. It's like sifting through the mud to find one little piece of hay. Why would you do that? Blast the thing with a fire hose, man. Get rid of it. It's not there anymore. Call it done, and then you don't have to think about it anymore. That's it. It's hard because you didn't call it done. That's all. So we're going to go through winning the game of retention, creating the simplest mindset for a seven-figure lifestyle practice. Now, this on seven-figure lifestyle practice, we're going to go through this thing. Now, why do I have this picture? $100 bills raining. Is it about the money? No, it's about the purpose. You know what all those $100 bills are? The 300 people that are paying you monthly because they understand health is energy. They understand now they're paying for their family. So I heard this thing. What's the average? I didn't know where the demographic was, but the average car payment. What's the average car payment? $800 to $1,300 a month. And you're telling me that you're gonna complain about 800 or $1,000 for a family? You're paying 1,200 bucks for your car. Well, I hope you love your car because you might be driving to the frickin' MD to get something removed. Okay. But you're going to look fucking great in your car, but you're still not going to get the VIP parking stall. Sorry, park in the back row. Right. So that's a story. See, what am I doing? I'm trained to tell stories. So winning the game of retention is on the seven-figure lifestyle practice. So let's go through that. There's two stories that you tell. Let's go back to day one. Right brain. What's the right brain language? Stories. Day one, day two, the story of their pain. That's it, the history. How did they get to where they are today? The second story, the story of their transformation. How do you want to live and how are you going to live? So that's it. You story of their pain, story of their transformation. It's all right brain stuff. Become a professional storyteller. So let's go through this. What are the four proven, what's that key word? Proven mindsets that will grow your retention faster than ever. And this is how we added 70 people a day, not from marketing. They were all 100% referrals, and the majority were family members and referrals that patients brought in of other families. But what are the four mindset principles? The only thing you focus on. Now, I've gone through this on some coaching calls. Everything you say begins with these principles. Everything you say begins and ends. Four mindset principles are a timeline. It's a story of their life. And we're going to go through this in the upcoming retention bootcamp. And this is the story all the way through into lifestyle. So what are these? Four mindset principles. One, spine and nervous systems, foundation of life and health of body. Health is energy. Why is that the first one? Because we got to be talking about the same thing. You get this agreement in the pre-consult. We got to make sure this is the frame, right? What does a frame do? Well, it adds to the picture, but what's it do? It's like the boards in a hockey rink. It keeps the focus on the picture. This is the frame. Now, here's the thing. This is knowledge, but until it's a belief, they won't live it. They can tell you health is energy, just like you guys can tell me health is energy, but is it the only thing that you focus on? Are you still educating? Why? You got to know this in your heart. People have to know this and believe it because when they do, referrals are automatic. Purpose becomes automatic. They got to believe it, not just know it. So how do you get them to believe it? Well, you didn't know health is energy. Health is energy is why the spine and nervous system is the foundation of life and health in the body. So if you say the spine and nerve, you say someone's spine and nervous system is foundation of life, health, body, where they go, oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. So that could be the introductory line. Here's why: brain sends energy down spinal cord is the lifeline. That energy is the life force energy that brings life to every cell, every function in your body is totally dependent on that energy in the spinal cord. A healthy spinal cord that pours energy like a fire hose is the level of health that you're living at right now. Here's the problem: spine gets in the way. That's it. Blocks the spine. The spine blocks that energy. Did anybody else tell you that? Right. So now why do we say to anybody else tell you that? Because that's the transference of trust. These two principles are the only principles you focus on day one, day two. Why? This is the story of their pain. They didn't know health was energy. Nobody told them. It's not a secret. It's not a secret in the world. But they had one problem: they never lived chiropractic lifestyle. That's the only thing. Why? These two reasons. That's the only thing you need to talk about. Everything you say on day one, day two, every objection, everything is based on these two principles. And if they have an objection, it's because they didn't get or they didn't believe health was energy, or they saw it as knowledge, but they never put it together as that's why you're alive. Now, what's the difference between patient education and changing beliefs? So when someone's objecting, or yeah, health energy, no, I get it. All right, then why don't you bring your kids? Well, they give you some excuse. Okay, let me ask you a question. The reason you're talking is the energy in your nervous system is moving your jaw. The reason you're rolling your eyes is you have muscles that move your eyes that come from your nerve energy. The reason you have thought is because of electrical energy in your body. So while you're thinking of excuses, your son and your daughters have energy moving through the spinal cord that's determining their health and life. And I'm pretty sure as a parent, you don't want them to suffer all the ways that you did, because look at your freaking x-rays and the 16 health problems that you came in with, and they're following your pattern. Then you stop talking. Now, they're probably not, if they say, yeah, but I would go, sit. How many people saw Austin Powers? I would go, I sit, right? No, stop thinking. That's the problem. We're going to the front desk because I'm going to protect you from yourself. That's what we're doing today. Let's go on up and let's make an appointment. So that's funny. Just don't do that to your spouse. Doesn't go over very well. Then what's the third principle? How do you want to live? How do you want to live? Now that's after you get their history. Now that you know how you got here, look, man, now we're in present moment. Now you're at a fork in the road. You're going to decide how you want to live, or you're going to decide how you're going to live. Like, because if you want to live healthy, you go down this road. How you're going to live, some will say that's a very different road. That's not a road you want to go down, right? So I just came back. I go to the liquor store down here because I buy my lotto tickets, because I figure, hey, if I'm going to become, a multimillionaire, billionaire, I don't know how God's going to give it to me. You want to give me 300 million? I'm receiving it. Thank you, Lord, in your infinite abundance. I can't win if I don't play. I do know that much. So the girl in there, I sent her to a chiropractor, right? So she goes, look at my x-rays. Naturally, why? They want to show your x-rays even though you're not their doctor. I'm like, you had thyroid surgery. Yeah, I had thyroid cancer. I go, well, that's expected. You got I didn't say cervical kyphosis. She got a reverse curve with the apex right at C5, C6. Guess where the staples are? Right in front of C5, C6. What did I tell her? Because she just finished day two. I told her, well, it's no surprise you got thyroid cancer. And, and what'd she say? She goes, I just paid $3,800 and I may have to pay that again. I go, yeah, they're rebuilding your spine and nervous system. That's not whatever that place is where you go $35 and they pay, what's that called? Type it in the chat. Yeah, whatever you guys know what it is. You can get off mute and yelling at me.
The joint.
The joint. That's right. Because that's where she went. She's like, yeah, I don't feel good about this. No, this isn't a joint. They're rebuilding your spine. Do you think it's correctable? And I go, heck yeah. And I go, you better correct it before something like your thyroid happens somewhere else. Because that's how she's going to live. That was the last thing I said. And then I walked out the door. Right? No, that's what I'm going to leave you with. Yeah, forget about money. You're paying for the rest of your life. Why? Because that's how you want to live. That's where she's at. That's what I'm going to talk about. So when you understand these principles, man, it's so easy and you're so convicted. We're going to teach you how to use your body in a way that creates health rather than disease. Now we're going through day 1, day 2. So all we're doing today is the first 2 principles. We're going to go through the other 2 principles on Friday. How cool is that? Better be here for Friday. Mindset number 1. Spine and nervous system is foundational life, health, of the body. Life is energy, baby. Now here's the gig. They have to get this. This is your only concern. So what are we going to do? Now, what's the second principle? Hey, they didn't know that, right? It's not your fault. It is your responsibility. So let's go back here. Free consult. Hey, Miss Jones, great to see you, blah, blah, blah. Have you ever been to chiropractor? Yes, we're ready to eat different. Right. Then you get to, hey, either an individual bone or a whole curve can shift out of place, right? It's called a subluxation. Say this word with me, subluxation. Did your other chiropractor tell you that? Now, if they've never been to a chiropractor, I'd say, have you ever heard that from any of your medical doctors? No, I haven't. But if they've been to a chiropractor, did your other chiropractors tell you that? Now, how do I move this up on the priority? So they could say no, and they may be a little confused, but it has no emotion. This has to be a belief system. Belief systems are associated with emotions. We have to couple that. So what would I do? Well, what I'm about to tell you, you may soon realize has been controlling your health for your whole life. Now, is that the truth? Absolutely. Everybody, I only have Steve here. Nod your head, Steve. I mean, there's other people, but let me see. Do I have any other pictures on here, man? Do I have some live videos? Oh, no, we got other people, no pictures. Jeez. Hey, PR's on there. Is that Dalton? There you go. No shirt on, man. Way to go. See, that's my nephew. The apple didn't fall far from the tree there. We're just 2 apples sitting on the ground, or sitting on the tree together, getting life force. So that's what they have to do. Hey, this can change your whole life, right? It's like a dimmer switch on a wall. Now, when people didn't get it, I would say, look, here's what your spine is like. You got a whole electrical system in your house. That's your nervous system. So lights go out in your kitchen. What do? Shit, we blew a fuse. I go to the garage. What's the one switch? Flip the switch, and then the lights are on. I go, your spine isn't like a switch unless you're paralyzed, right? These are like dimmer switches. You got 24 of them. Actually, I have like 33 if you include all the segments in the sacrum and coccyx. You got 33 of them, 33 dimmer switches in your spine. So I'd say it's like a dimmer switch shuts the energy down. The organ will eventually cause disease. Is that important to know? So why would I say that? Because I'm moving it up to the top of their priority list of health is energy. Would that be important to know? Would you have liked to have known that? Because you've been 8 different chiropractors, nobody told you, nobody even took x-rays. How they know what they were doing? Did they tell you that in between your back pain, that you could have a structural weakness in your spine that's been shutting down the energy, breaking down your health the whole 20 years, not just when you have back pain, but the whole 20 years? Did they tell you that? No. Do you think that's important? Well, here's what you're going to find is even more important. One area weakens the rest of the structure of the spine. Now it causes stress to the whole spinal cord. What part of the spinal cord? The whole spinal cord, right? Yeah, big sweep. Way to go. The whole spinal cord, now hardly energy can get through there. Now your overall health's going to break down and cause disease. Can you see how your posture affects your overall health? Yes. I would say, first of all, here's what I would change. I would go, can you see how energy in the spinal cord is your health? That health is energy and your spinal cord is your lifeline. I can see that. Now, can you see how your posture directly affects the function of the spinal cord and controls your overall health? Now, I would change that. Am I rewriting the script book? Not tonight. I'm not. I'm probably not doing it tomorrow night either. I don't know. That's a little bit lower on my priority list, but that's why you guys go to boot camps and that's why you're on here, right? So there you go. So what's the next mindset? What am I doing? Did they tell you that? Did you know that? No, I didn't. So could that be affecting your health your whole life? So if you want to be healthy, is it important to know that health is energy through your nervous system? You could say that in the pre-consult. Now, here's the thing. Pre-consult is a guide. We don't want to teach a workshop. But if a person has been to a bunch of other chiropractors, especially the ones that come in, that say, I don't want x-rays, blah, blah, blah. The probability, human behavior, they're going to repeat that pattern is very high. It's very high. Okay. So you might say an extra couple things in the pre-consult, just get those agreements fast. Mindset number 2, you're only evaluating the extent of the damage. You're looking at their health conditions because their only problem is they never took care of their spinal nervous system. Why? They didn't know and they weren't told. The second mindset is only why they have these problems. And it's not because of the accidents they were in. It's because they never fixed it. The posture now is the physical results of the damage, right? And that's where, what do you do in posture on day 1? Hey, got left thoracic translation. Did your other chiropractors say right lateral flexion, posterior rotation? Other chiropractors tell you that? No, they didn't. Well, here's what I would do. I would shift them over and I go, you got left-sided low back pain. Well, no wonder. 2/3 of the way to your upper body, shit, you're 180 pounds, you got 120 pounds coming down your left shoulder. So what I would do, I would shift them, accentuate, grab their shoulders, and I push down. And I go, where do you feel that? And they'd say, right in my low back. Is that where your back hurts? Yes. Well, now you know why your back hurts. But here's the problem. You got 4 dams in the river before you even get to your low back. Right? Is that a problem? You put 4 Hoover dams in the Colorado River. How much energy is getting down your low back? Not much. No wonder you have a problem. They didn't tell you that. And these 4 other ones, now as I go through the postural distortions, here's this, here's this, here's this, here's this. Now with the person that's stuck on their back pain, and then I'm going to go, so if you want a strong, healthy body for the rest of your life, that's the automatic default for back pain. What do you have to fix? And I would touch just their neck and their thoracic spine. What part of your spine do you have to, I got to fix this part. So what part of your spine do you really have to fix to take stress off the cord to make sure your body's strong and healthy? My whole spine. What part of your body is that affecting? If it's the whole spinal cord, and that's the lifeline to every cell in your body, and I'd pull their hair up, and I'd say from here to here, and I'd kick the end of their big toenail, tap it. I go, what part of your body is breaking down? And they'd say all of it. And then you watch them go. Now they get it. If their body language doesn't change, they didn't get it. Day 2 is just the objective results. Got millimeters, degrees, all X-ray findings, red line, green line. Hey, here's the line. Here's where your body is. Here's where it should be. Stress on the cord, stretch like a rubber band. What's that red line? Red line is sickness and disease, stress on the cord, lifeline being shut down. Green line is, man, that thing is a fire hose. That's like Niagara Falls. You ever seen Niagara Falls live? Well, if you did, you'll get all wet if you go down on the boat. Why? Because that's a bunch power, right? That's the fire hose. This is a weak garden hose. So if you want to be healthy, what's the first step? What do you got to do? I point my finger on the red line. I take it to the green line. I wouldn't give them the answer. I'd give them the answer to my body language. I got to go from there to there. That's the first day of the rest of your life. And that's what I would say. Now, I think Steve, we talked and you said, and Tim goes through this, and I got to learn how to ask questions. You do it innately. Well, what did I learn? What am I going to do? Well, you have to go from the red line to the green line. And then what do they say? Yep. I know I should do that. Yep. And I'm going to go, how do you want to live, man? You're at the red line. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to spend the rest of your life? Because red line looks like a big flare. Like when you're stuck in the ocean in a raft and you have that gun and you got to fire it because the helicopter's going by. Is that going to save your life? Yeah. Here's the flare gun. See that red line? That's the flare gun. I'm seeing your flare saying, you got to help me. And I'm telling you, I can't help you. You have to help yourself. Because that's my mindset. You want to help yourself? I'll show you how to live a great life. But you got to tell me that this is the most important thing in your life. Oh, by the way, this passes in families. Free consult, they have to understand health is energy, man. You don't have a common reality, everything else is too hard. Consultation is health problems, what they weren't told. Now, what cost did they pay? You've been on an inhaler for 20 freaking years. You thought you were going to have to live this way, right? Did they even talk about what traumas? Did they talk about 2 years before you got asthma, you got in a car accident? Did they talk about you were a gymnast your whole life, spine never formed right, traumatized the shit out of your spine. So by the time you're 12 years old, you have asthma. Is that a big surprise? How many times you land on your head in gymnastics? They'll go, oh my God, 100. Yeah, that's your immune system. You weren't traumatizing your head, you were traumatizing your immune system. Look at that reframe. That's why you have asthma, right? You weren't traumatizing your neck, you were traumatizing your immune system, you were traumatizing your metabolism, you were traumatizing your digestive tract. Did they tell you that? No. Maybe that's why you're walking in with all these problems. Spinal structure, what you weren't told. What cost did it pay? I remember this one guy, I don't want x-rays, la, la, la. I've been 18 different companies, I just want to get adjusted. What's front desk say? Okay, I'll make sure the doctor knows. Walks in, first day one. Hi, great to see you today. I don't want this, I don't want that. Yep, come in. Yep, sure. You're telling me what you're going to do. Now, there's a difference between doing things right and doing the right thing. What's doing things right? No, we got to take x-rays. Every patient gets x-rayed. Click, burr, dial tone, walk out. What's doing the right thing? I already let the doctor know. No problem. He's well aware of it. Yeah, we already know. It's all good. Don't worry. Just go back and chat with him. So they look, hey, great to see you. Welcome to, Corona Del Mar. That's where I live, chiropractic. I don't want any x-rays. I heard about that. By the way, my name's Dr. Fred. I see that Jim referred you. You control the focus. Don't let them throw you off. When they control your focus, you become a victim. That's why it sucks. I don't want x-rays. I heard about that, by the way. I see Jim referred you. I see Steve or Tim referred you. It's got amazing results, man. Life-changing. Hey, I see that you work down the street and you've been driving by our sign for the last 5 years. Just curious, what the heck took you so long? What am I doing? Controlling his focus. Well, my back just started hurting. Oh, yeah, I see you've been to the chiropractors. Uh-huh. Well, what we do is very unique and different. So I know you're here for back pain. Is that right? Yep. And I don't want x-rays. I don't want to sign up an appointment. Yep. I already know. Just curious, Jim. I have no idea who you are, and I have no idea what's causing your problem. So you want to sit down and chat about it for a minute? Very small agreement, right? I'm controlling the focus. They don't come in and tell you what to do. I don't have to do it with anger. I just redirect them. It's Tai Chi, baby. So that's what it is, right? I mean, we can go through that conversation all day. So at the end of day one, can you see why you ended up that way? I would say that at the end of the consultation. So I remember this guy. I go in the consultation. I'm like, You're 45 years old. You have an MD that already told you have arthritis. So your spine is injured and it's breaking down, it's degenerating. You have 15 different, however many, it was in the teens, different health problems. And you want me to adjust your, I take off my glasses because I'm getting all fired up. You want me to move bones in your spine with a spinal cord that's already injured and under stress, and you want me to do that without looking at anything. Do you know that's malpractice? Well, my other chiropractors did it. Yeah, they're damn lucky you didn't sue them. So can you see? And I'm like, I got to do an exam. So we did an exam, shift. That was one of the guys. Hey, did he tell you this? Did he tell you that? Did he tell you that? Push on his shoulders. Where's your back hurt? Well, maybe that's why you have 8 different chiropractors. So let me ask you a question. Do you want to find 8 more? How many more in your life do you want to find that aren't going to take x-rays and never going to fix your problem while your spine's degenerating? By the way, you're in your mid 40s. So your spine's degenerating, nerves degenerating, your health's degenerating, but what are you going to do? Get 8 more chiropractors that do the same thing they've always done? Or do you want a strong, healthy body for the rest of your life? By the time you do all of that, they're like, okay, I give. We're taking x-rays. Now that story goes on, and I won't go into day 2, but that was day 1. So that's how we went from, no, I don't want this, into we got x-rays and he ended up prepaying. Generational patterns. Now this was, I didn't talk to him about generational patterns. This was before I figured that out. Health and postural distortions are passed through there. So when are you going to talk about generational patterns? Right in the consultation. So you're going to look at common problems that pass. What's past? Metabolism problems, thyroid problems, immune system problems, adrenal problems, digestive problems, lung problems, heart problems. All the major organs, they pass along with postural problems, right? So I'm going to talk about it. And people say, well, it's genetic blood pressure. Well, actually, it's mostly acquired, but postural problems are acquired that lead to similar energy problems that cause similar health problems. So in that case, yeah, it's mostly required. Some are genetic, but it's most all are required. So who'd you get it from? Right there. Well, I got it from my uncle and I got it from my dad. So does it pass through the men in the family? Yeah. Do you have any sons? That would be the first question. Why? Because I'm going to take that fear, and that's why he's getting his son checked. Why? Because I'm breaking generational patterns. Like, to me, that's automatic. Well, I got it from my dad. Do you have any sons? How old are they? 5. Well, what if you could break that pattern right now and they never have to suffer with health problems? And what if you showed them something that nobody else told them, that most of the men in your lineage have experienced, but you can break it right here if this is a cause? Do you want me to check that? They'd say, absolutely. Which child is just like you? Look for common health problems at different stages. Consultation, all about health problems. Exam, all about posture problems. Now you relate the two, right? And I was thinking about this. I was going through this PowerPoint before I got on here. And I was thinking, if you find somebody, left thoracic translation, they should have a right cervical. What if you have a left? Dude, that's trauma. Here's what I used to tell people. Your spinal cord and nervous system are in a neurological hurricane. There is so much chaos. The fact that you're in a traumatic posture means your health is going to break down faster. You're going to get sicker faster than other people because your spine has been traumatized. Maybe that's why you got asthma. Maybe that's why you got ulcerative colitis. Maybe that's why now you have heart palpitations after the traumas. You played football in high school and now you have 18 different health problems. You're only 28 years old. Right? Why? Your MD never told you that. Your coach didn't tell you that. Your other doctors didn't tell you that. And your other dang chiropractors didn't tell you that. Hey, it's not your fault, but do you want to live a healthy life? Because it ain't going that way now. And that's why I used to tell people in their 20s. You're only in your 20s. You're barely off your mama's boob. You just moved out of your house. You're starting your whole new life. And look how you're starting your life. Your body's weak and injured and sick from the inside out. That's how you're starting your freedom in your life. Everybody would sign. Didn't have a problem with kids, young adults. 3 questions to uncover generational patterns. Who did you get it from? Generation before. Who are you giving it to? Generation after. Who else in your extended family has this pattern? Why? Can you change a generational pattern if you correct your kids, but their nieces and nephews never go to a chiropractor? Is that changing a generational pattern? Why? So it could be spread in other branches of your family tree? Now, when your purpose is change the healthcare system, you have to ask these questions. Now, you don't want to take forever in a consultation, so you're definitely going to handle the first 2 quickly. You may extended family. You can address it if you have time. You're definitely addressing it in a workshop. Absolutely. Your goal, immediate family, day 1, day 2, extended family, new patient workshop. That's the system. If you can get them sooner, all the power to you. If they put the associate, if you just mention it, I've definitely, since we've been going over this more, definitely have doctors, you know what, I got this person, they want to bring their aunt in, they want to bring their sister in, they want to bring in their nieces and nephews. So some people immediately go into extended family. This is how we added 110 people a day in 5 months with no marketing. This is your marketing. It comes through your purpose that is not diluted. So into day 1, you're going to go through initial requirements. I forgot to put that on animation. Don't read ahead. Initial requirements for being accepted. I know you guys, you're reading ahead right now, and then you're not going to pay attention because you're reading. Initial requirements for being accepted as patient. What are you going over? Hey, we're going to go over tomorrow on day 2. What's causing your condition? How it's affecting your health? Initial requirements to be accepted as patient. Initial investment. Number 5 is not in the script book, and I'm not rewriting it this weekend. We're going to talk about how you want to take care of your health and the health of the rest of your family for the rest of your life. Can you see, for those reasons, why you want your husband with you tomorrow? Well, he works. That's not an objection. You know, if someone said, "Hey, let's go bicycling tomorrow morning," dude, I got calls. Doesn't mean I can't go. I just have to reschedule my call. Sorry, Al. No, I'm just kidding. He's right at 9:30. So, just kidding, buddy. We're going to be on the phone with your team tomorrow. For those reasons, you want to be with your husband. He's on here, man. Way to be on here, dude. There you go. Where is it? Jose, way to be here. Tim, and Tim's iPhone, way to be on here. Susie. Okay, so what's mindset? We're still in mindset number 2. Geez, 2 questions on day 1 for all the patients. Hey, if health is energy, do you have a health problem or you got an energy problem? They'd say, hopefully I have an energy problem. No, you have health conditions, and there's only one problem. What is it? An energy problem is the foundation of all health conditions. Now, when they understand that, you go through that on day 1, you can go through it with all your patients. Every patient only has one problem. So when you sit there and go, wow, it's so easy, but it's so hard. No, it's not. What's not hard is you think they have a spinal problem. That's the problem. They don't have a spinal problem. They have an energy problem, and you're fixing the energy problem by fixing their spine. Strategic pause. I'm letting that land on you. Give me another 50 seconds. They don't have a spinal problem. They have an energy problem. You're fixing the energy problem by fixing their spine. Okay, I'm hitting the timer. Let that land in your nervous system. That's why this is so easy. 3 principles they must acknowledge: what you didn't know, what their previous healthcare didn't tell them, and what they didn't do. That's it. There's day 1, day 2. Thank you very much. All we're doing is assessing the damage. Why are you subluxated? Because you didn't know your spine nervous system was foundation, and no health was energy. None of your darn healthcare providers told you that's their fault. I would call them up and ask them why they didn't tell them and what they didn't do. You didn't take care of your spinal nervous system. It's the only problem we're solving. But would you agree, if you want to live healthy, you got to get healthy first? Two principal mindsets only. Everything you think, say, and do is only these mindsets. All objections are handled with these two mindsets. Health is energy, and what they weren't told. What they weren't told is why they didn't live the lifestyle. It's why they didn't know. That's it. You're done. All of day one, day two. Thank you very much. That's how we're starting families, right? So you have two mindset principles to change all belief, creates transference of trust. You got 5 subluxations, 6 postural distortions, 18 different health problems. Hey, you could walk behind me, or 18 different health problems. Can you see how or why you ended up this way? That's what I would say at the end of day one. Can you see how you ended up this way? Right? Can you see why, when people learn this, chiropractic becomes their healthcare lifestyle for their family? Now, why can you say that? Because you've already talked about generational patterns. You've already talked about it in health. You've already talked about it in posture. You've already talked about what they weren't told. You may, if you're talking about their kids and their kids have immune system problems or whatever, you're going to talk about what their pediatrician isn't telling them. Right? So why would they go to a doctor? You go to a doctor so they can tell you the best way to get healthy, and they didn't tell you. Do you find that to be a problem? I would say that. What have you suffered because they didn't tell you everything you need to know? They told you one thing: take this drug. End of day one. Well, there you go. I went through that already. Am I going the wrong way? So day two, tell the day one story. All this. Day two, that's the day one story you're telling the spouse. You're going through the same thing. The spouse has to understand health is energy. Focus on energy in the script, not the spine. And this is where I've said this on coaching calls. If you have two people, say, read the script, but one person is focusing on the spine, the other person is focusing on energy, you're going to create two different patients. That's why, what did I tell a lot of people? Take a yellow highlighter and highlight the word energy everywhere in the day two ROF. And what you're going to realize is you don't need a highlighter, you need a paintbrush. Because that's what it's about. Ask about generational patterns of the spouse. You should have already brought that up on day one, which is why the wife's going to bring the spouse. Who did he, assuming it's husband, who did he get it from? Who's he giving it to? Right? How do you want to live? This mindset takes over when it's time to take action. So what do you want to do? I want to correct it. Hey, we've implemented a system of care that's helped our patients achieve phenomenal results, even where other systems have failed. But it's what we do that's different. They would already get that now. Now you're getting the requirements to being accepted as patient, right? 8 requirements to be accepted as patient. No, there's 5. Oh, yeah, 8. Well, those are the 8 things you do, right? Those are the 8 things you're going to cover. Right? On day 2, there's actually 4 requirements, but there's 8 things you're going to cover. There's 8 things we're covering in the workshop, right? And what are those? How you got this way, how it's affecting your health, programs to correct your health, home care. We're going to go over the life goals. We're going to go over time, and we're going to go over money, and we're going to go over your stress test. So there's actually 4 things. Get adjusted every day, take a stress x-ray, go to the workshop, pay in advance, bring your spouse. That's supposed to be 4. I was thinking of the workshop. Handle any objections with that mindset. With what mindset? How do you want to live? Hey man, you don't want to go to the workshop. You have to go to the workshop. Why? Because you're going to do things you've never freaking done before. And if this is a healthier family and your kids are using their body in this way, creating disease because you taught them that way, and they're mimicking your patterns, then your kids are going to get the same disease as you have. Now, what if your spouse doesn't know this? You're going to get in fights. They're going to tell you you're ridiculous. You're going to do exercise at night, and they're going, honey, just go to bed. I'm tired. And you're like, no, I have to do 50 mirror image exercises. Why are you doing those stupid? It's not going to work. And after 10,000 patients, I hope I was paying enough attention to figure out which type of patient gets the best result, recovers their health, and lives a better life for their family. I think I've paid that much attention. That's what I would tell them. And this is the way you do it. Boom, done. If you've done all this up to this point, you're not even going to have any objections. I mean, look at everything you've done, man. They're going to be. Now, I remember saying, I would say, when you go through, system of care, blah, blah, blah. And then I'd say, we don't accept every patient. We have very specific requirements. And those are the requirements we accept people on. Man, it was a dead eagle lock. And I'm looking at them like, oh, this is it. Don't even challenge this. I don't want to see, if I got to see a thought going across your brain like a ticker tape on the stock market, we already have a big problem. I better see fucking vacancy of you paying attention. So, and that's what I would look at them like. They would go, tell me what it is. Other people, some people go, doc, tell me what they are. And they're like, I'll do it. What do you want? Husband and spouse. Some people, oh shit, take a step back. Both of them are good body language. That's the end of day 2, man. Now, when I would do that, I would lay it out. You got to come every day. Yep. Got to go to the workshop. Yep. Jim, you got to go with her. Yep. We're going to do stress x-ray. Yep. And we got to take care of it. Here's the advantage. Once you go to the workshop, you qualify. Now that's a credit. So what you're actually doing is putting a deposit down on recovering your health and living a great life, living a healthy life for the rest of your life. So we're going to use that as a credit. Now, why do we do that? Because your future pacing their commitment. That's why that is so important. Because they're like, yep, I'm doing it. Great. Now, what do you do every day in the meantime? Every visit. So if my workshop is on Thursday, if I gave a report of findings on Monday, okay, on Monday, sign up for the workshop, end of day 2. On Tuesday, great. Go through all the Tuesday, the first adjustment scripts. Okay, we're going to see you Wednesday, Thursdays at 5:30, right? So workshop starts from 6. Expect to be there 2 hours. I already told them in advance. And you're bringing husband Jim, right? Right. On Wednesday. Okay, tomorrow night, 5:30. Workshop starts at 6. Who you bringing? My husband Jim. How long are you going to be here? 2 hours. Did you get a babysitter and you're handling everything? Yep, sure did. We're ready to go. You're handling every objection. So does Jim know this? Yes, he's committed. Now, if he was at day 2 ROF, no problem. He's going to show up. So we're going to talk about everything that happens after the workshop on Friday. Tomorrow, we have a special event. Josiah Fitzsimmons. By the way, he's been seeing over 1,000 a week. He makes $5 million a year, and he's got, I think, over an 80 retention at 1,000 a week. And he developed a software that can show you how to run your business. So that way, when you are in your business, you can look at numbers and determine what you want to do. And when you're not in it as much, then the software is going to tell you exactly how to run things. So between elite and great technology, you put those together, you have an unstoppable, bulletproof business. Now, here's what I want to do. Hey, there he is. I need to share my screen again. Sorry. Except I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to go to this. Go to the elite coaching page. Look what we got. If you didn't join it, ask to join. We got we got day 2. There's the tapes. There's day 1. We got all this crap over here. Lots of messages. Here's what I'm scrolling down to. Here's a blog. Do you want to keep them or close them? 7-figure videos we usually make every week. I'm not making this week. We've got the Chiro Mafia podcast we're loading on there. Look at all this stuff we got on there, man. I mean, that's what you want to go on. Get the notifications, get the blogs, get the stuff. You have to stay immersed if you want to do this. Now, what do we also have? I'm going to go to this. I got to share my screen again. Sorry. Because some of you guys don't know how to use this. So I'm going to show you how to use it. We're going to go to the elite page. So here's the videos, day 1, day 2 videos. Here's day 1, 2 audios. The audios tell you why things are the way they are. This demonstrates, you guys know this, how to attain a 1690 PVA. Here's boot camp 1, day 1, day 2. Here's the second retention boot camp. This is how you get past all time and money and keep them for life, right? Now, here's what most people don't realize. And I'm sure, and most of you guys are on here are clients, but I know you don't do this and I don't talk to you about it enough, but 7 steps to mastering change. This is from Tony Robbins. This is the template that he takes people that are 9 out of 10 of suicide and brings them into a power life. This is how, one of the things that I know that I can refer to, that I know innately of how to empower people. These are pattern interruptions. These are responsibility questions. These are reframes. These are conditioning people on positive reinforcement. You really want to know this. It's included. If you got 7-step ROS, 7 secrets, 7 figure, it's included. 5 steps to overcoming all objections. Tony Robbins. This comes from Mastering Influence. 5 emotional steps that people make life-changing decisions. You got to know this backwards, forward, sideways. I know this backwards, forward, sideways. I don't have to think about it. To me, it's an energy. I feel their energy. I know where to go. This is skill development. Now, if you want to create a legacy that affects generations and you want to get 100% to understand health is energy, you want to get generations, you probably want to know this pretty well. You have to sharpen your sword. You know, it's like Abraham Lincoln. If I'm going to chop down a tree, I'm spending 80% of my time sharpening the saw, 20% of my time chopping the tree down, right? You got to sharpen your sword. Now we go down here, weekly intention sheet, all this. I'm going to go through 7-figure lifestyle practice. Here is the implementation manual. Click here for implementation manual. Fascinating, don't you think? So I'm going through this because a lot of people haven't gone through this yet. So here it is. This will guide you through the whole system. But here's the thing. If you're coaching, I'm taking you through it. But you can refer to this. Now, people that you don't have to be in the coaching system, because all these main points and more to develop 7-figure lifestyle practice is in this, is right here. Here's the coaching system that builds a 7-figure lifestyle practice, right? Now we went through winning the game of retention. You guys have to watch these, right? There's 1, 2, 3 videos. Then we go to the audios and videos. There's those weekly intention sheet. You guys know this. This is 10 videos. This is how you look at numbers and train your team how to implement, how to change into belief systems. Numbers represent belief systems. This is how you grow your culture. Perfect retention, 7-step ROF. This is how you get through all time. Get them totally committed to time so that you can get them totally committed to money. 8-step re-exam. This is how you keep them. Daily visit. How you keep the care in front of their face. 6-step staff meeting. This is how. The weekly intention sheet, and I'm telling you this, and most people on here are clients and guests, you're watching this. The 6-step staff meeting you do on Monday is how you set the vision. The weekly, and it's a vision that's greater than where you are right now. The weekly intention sheet and the action steps are the plan to reach the vision. The pre-shift huddle, you take the plan into the pre-shift huddle, you look at your schedule, and then you create something that's greater than what's on your schedule. That's called growth. So you set your vision for the day for something that's greater on the schedule that are going to meet the vision that you set on Monday on the 6-step staff meeting. And then you create that shift by shift, because here's the plan to shift the mindset to get 90% or more in the lifestyle, bringing their family, affecting generations. That's how you do it. Here's 5 steps eliminating objections. Here's a bonus that most people don't even know about because you don't look. These are 7 things that you do every week to get family referrals. Most people, even clients, haven't looked at this. Here's 7 things you're doing every week that can get family referrals. Here's a new patient workshop. Here's 7 steps to mastering change. Here's 3 ways to refer. Man, these are all broken down into individual videos. Here is the system that you can build $1 million. You can make $60,000 to over $100,000 a month. This is the wheel that you roll. All you got to do is roll the wheel long enough, and you're going to have over $1 million a year practice just on your monthly wellness patients. So if you're a client, full coaching program, this is included. If you're not, you can get this for $29.97, a one-time payment, and it's $97 a month. Go to the Elite Coaching page. We'll do Facebook Lives. Hey, you can call me if you have any questions. We'll be doing lives every week, so we're going to be training on these. You can email me, you can call me. So, and if you're in the full coaching program, you already are calling me, but I wanted to remind you guys of what's actually on here that you already have. You already have it. This is the wheel. All you got to do is roll it. So there you go. So call me. I won't sell this to anyone without having a conversation first. So if you're not a client and you're not in the coaching program, you say, hey, I want to take a look at this in more detail. Just call me. We'll set up a time. I'll take you through this system. And then let's look at where you're at, where your goals are. And then if I can help you, great. Hey, if you want to just take what you learn here, great. If you want to just get on a coaching call and implement just these 5-day challenge, great. So we're here to help you, but I will tell you the things that are on here, you will not find anywhere else in chiropractic. When you look at these things, the way we go through it, you will not find these in chiropractic because they weren't created in chiropractic. They were created from human behavior, from Tony Robbins, from top leaders, from 26 years of studying human behavior, and it works like a machine because humans act and react the same way every time. And you guys know, and this is the last thing I'll say, you guys know, you're like, geez, man, you told me to say this, and they did it. I'll say, if you say this, this is what they're going to say. And then you call me back, oh my God, they did it. I'm like, yeah, I know. Humans are like robots, man. And these are the people that say, dude, I got a report of findings in 2 hours, man. Here's the guy's problem. What am I going to say? Say this. Yep, got a prepay. I get a call 3 hours later, got $4,000. It works. So anyway, love you guys. Steve, hey, if you want to take a minute, or Tim, or anybody else, you've been in just about every coaching group in the profession, man. So I met you at CVP. Just tell them just give a quick testimony about the difference of what you learned and the power and what coaching is like.
Well, I've been through a lot of coaches over the years, and this by far is just so much easier. You're dealing on a human level. You're interacting with people at a fundamental level with people. You're communicating with them back and forth, and you're getting them to give you the answers instead of you telling them what should be. They're actually telling you what you really want them to get through. You want them to understand it. When they say it themselves, when they come to the conclusions on their own by you guiding them with questions, which is such a beautiful thing. I talked about it last night, or I talked to you earlier today about it, the skill, or I can't remember what I said. Maybe it was last night on the call about how it's just so innate in you with this. It's so much easier on us. It's a no-brainer. It gets the conversions going. It's really nice. It's a good way to do it.
That's so easy. It's like, oh my God, to think I work so hard with patient education, man. Jeez. Hey, it's like the first
Yeah,
day you can walk up the mountain.
I haven't been excited about having a coach in a long time. I hadn't had a coach for a couple of years, and then I came across you at that CBP seminar, and my head exploded. I couldn't believe it. It was wonderful because I've been looking for a coach for years, and I was like, man,
We're
this
looking
is
for
the
the
guy.
right coach.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Cool,
So
man.
thank you.
Hey, Tim, are you on there? You got a minute?
Which Tim? What?
Sorry, Tim Radcliffe. Yeah, Tim Schreiber. That's another whole, you're another whole testimonial. Tim Radcliffe, are you there?
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Yeah, hey man, you've been through the ringer in chiropractic. What's been the difference in elite?
The impact you make. I mean, I've had successful practices for the last 30 years, but the impact I'm making in the community, the joy of what I'm doing is at another level. So that's my biggest go-to right now.
Yeah, cool, man. I appreciate it. All right, you guys. And Dalton's on there, and man, you haven't even gotten in chiropractic school, and you already know more than most chiropractors, right? So it's so funny. Just real quick, Dalton. He said to me, "I don't know why chiropractors have such a hard time with this. It seems so easy." And I'm like, "It's because the only thing you ever learned." Give a quick
Oh,
testimonial about that for a guy that's entering chiropractic school soon. Him and his wife.
yeah, yeah. Well, the cool thing is we got to work with Dr. Fogel out here in Atlanta, and he was gracious enough to let us shadow him for a couple years. And with your system, obviously he's already a client, but when we came in there, we just implemented a lot of your systems and what to say, and we grew probably like 3 times what he was doing when we started, and he's been able to sustain that after we've left, which is the coolest part is that, we were just CAs and do the front desks and financials and things like that. I mean, we started out collecting like 2,300 bucks, $4,000 on different care plans, and by the time we were done, we had like $15,000 care plans, and people were going for it every week. So, you know, the
Yeah,
with
biggest
all,
collection month, 200,000. It was like 191,000 or something, 194.
yeah, 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 192.
Yeah, so that's good. Went from like 80,000, they doubled their collections. So
Yeah.
he already was pretty close to $1 million, but yeah. And now that you guys are there, they're still doing it. I mean, they had 274 scheduled, saw 250 something last week. Still collecting, 25,000, 30,000 a week. So that's cool. So anyway, all right, you
Yeah.
guys. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me, man. Hey, Jonathan, your email got kicked back. I was going to email you. You have coaching calls to help implement this. So if you want to do it, email me. You're getting our emails or email Elite Coaching. If you want to get most other people on this call are already clients. So I appreciate you being here, man. And if you want to get on the phone and you want me to help you implement this, just let me know and we'll do it. So, all right, you guys, have a great day. See you tomorrow. And thanks for hanging. Peace. See you soon.